Welcome to the It's and Queens podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, coming to you from the heart of the world's borough, a place that never fails to surprise or inspire or delight. Did everyone enjoy a little taste of winter this past weekend? The snow came down in fast and furious, but then thankfully departed just as quickly. It was beautiful while it lasted, though, and I have to say there really is something special about walking through Queens when everything's quiet and frosted and white, even if it only lasts for a few hours. So, I gotta ask the question, how are your New Year's resolutions going? Mine? Well, let's just say they're in progress. Now, I've been sticking with my nutrition plan, which I also consider my diet, mostly. The real challenge is that Queens is so packed with so many amazing restaurants that resisting temptation takes Olympic level discipline. But when I'm trying to skip the extra calories, I switch gears. I look for culture instead of cuisine. And luckily, our borough serves that up in abundance. So that brings me to this week's guest, someone who knows all about nurturing creativity, developing community, and supporting the next generation of performers, artists, and leaders. I'm joined this week by Susan Agin, Director of Arts Programming at Variety Boys and Girls Club of Queens and Executive Director of the Queens Culture and Arts Network, what's known as QCAN. We spoke recently, we talked about QCAN and the many ways it champions the cultural institutions that make our borough thrive. Here's that interview. Susan Agin, welcome back to the It's in Queens podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. You know I love sitting down and chatting with you.
Now, I know I've introduced you once before, but for anyone who did not listen to that earlier podcast, first give us a quick overview of the Queens Culture and Arts Network and the mission that drives it.
Okay, well, the Queens Culture and Arts Network, we call it QCAN, is a proud affiliate of the Variety Boys and Girls Club of Queens, which is an organization that has been in existence for over 70 years. And our mission is to unite and uplift the diverse communities of Queens through accessible arts and culture.
And so much goes on in our arts community, even over the last year. What has QCAN been most focused on since you and I last spoke?
I would have to say bringing people together through shared experiences. You know, if you talk about anything these days around the dinner table, you are you're heading into uncharted territory. But bringing folks together to learn how to tap dance or participate in choral singing, well, that's heaven because everyone gets along and the focus is on the activity.
And I think like during the pandemic, as much as we all did virtual things, it was missing something because we weren't together. And so I'd love for you to highlight a few standout programs or partnerships or achievements from the past year or that you're kind of looking forward to.
Okay, well, that's a lot of fun. You know, this year we facilitated over 60 programs across the borough of Queens. But let me tell you about a few that really stand out. First of all, we had a great time creating a fabulous mural at the award-winning LaGuardia Airport. The mural can be seen at Terminal B, the parking garage, which is where the travelers meet their Ubers and their Lyfts. And it's a really great mural because it highlights many of the iconic landmarks in Queens, like Citi Field and the Museum of the Moving Image and Astoria Park and the tennis stadium and so forth. So as travelers arrive for the first time, the mural serves as sort of a travel directory, if you will. You know, come see these places. And for folks coming home after traveling, the mural is sort of a warm embrace. It's saying, "Welcome home. Remember us? Welcome home." And so that really was a very special project that we're very proud of. Our musical theater boot camp was a blast. Students between the ages of 9 and 14 got to participate in an arts intensive Broadway workshop. And after only 12 classes performed for their friends and family. And the students had to audition for this workshop, which was really incredible to see how creative they could be on their auditions or in their auditions. And they were able to join this program on scholarship, compliments of Council Member Linda Lee. So that is certainly a highlight. And I'm going to tell you one more, Jeff. It has to be our Kew Garden Swingers. Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I want to hear more about this one.
Exactly. Well, what's interesting is they're actually singers. They're older adult singers, but they adopted the name Swingers, Kew Garden Swingers. They like that better. And our oldest participant is over 100 years old. And at their show in December, they were singing and dancing. I just couldn't get over it. The program is led by an incredible artist, Carol Sylvan. She's brilliant in her own right. And my favorite song that they performed was Jump in the Line by Harry Belafonte. And at one point, they broke into a limbo. So you had, these older adults, some of whom, some of whom are, I would say, super seniors, doing the limbo. It was just glorious.
At first, when you said the name, I was worried that was going to go in a different direction. I'm glad it did not. So you're you're constantly in touch with cultural groups across Queens. What are some themes or needs that have been coming up most often, and how is QCAN working to support them?
Well, the common theme is generally funding and how to get it. And then how to collaborate because it's super hard to be great at everything, right? So these important organizations, they need help. We're always open to exploring collaborations and we understand the funding process. So we can help sometimes in that regard. But the person who is absolutely the best in helping to promote the cultural organizations in Queens would have to be Rob Mackay. Of course, he's with the Queens Tourism Council and the
I've
Queens
never
Economic.
I've never heard of him.
Right, exactly. Well, what he does for Queens and for its institutions is miraculous. He really has a way of bringing organizations together.
So let's look ahead. What else? What's on the horizon for QCAN this year? Any new initiatives, collaborations, or just even goals that you're very excited about?
We served over 20,000 individuals this year. We'd love to be able to double that next year. We're going to be launching the Variety All-Star Chorus, which will have Broadway veterans at the helm. They will be directing the chorus, and you'll be able to see many of our beautification murals in communities throughout Queens. They are becoming so hot. And our free concerts this spring are they're going to attract thousands. They're going to be fun and lively. And we want everybody to come down and see one of those concerts.
So I've got to ask you, because of your role also with Variety that you mentioned earlier and all of this work, how do you get it all done? I mean, I can imagine it must be very, very busy for you.
Well, it is. It is. QCAN serves youth, adults, and older adults. So it's really sort of a natural fit. And our mission is really an extension of the Variety Boys and Girls Club of Queens, which is to help individuals of all ages discover their passions. So we design programs for youth like free piano and voice lessons, and those programs take place at the club. And then we're out in the field trying to make the arts accessible to everyone else.
What do you see as we get ready to close? What do you see as the biggest opportunities for strengthening Queens' cultural ecosystem in the coming years?
It's a good question. I think Queens is pretty great already, and I think we have a lot to offer. That said, as an arts organization, you need to know who you are, what you do best, and what makes you different. Every community in Queens is different, and people need options. So there's really room for everyone. But you need to know who you are and what you do best.
It's so funny you framed it that way because I think about that as I travel from neighborhood to neighborhood, that there are so many different opportunities. And every time I have relatives or friends coming into town and they're like, oh, let's go to Broadway. I'm like, why do we have to go to Manhattan? Can we please do something in Queens? And they love it.
100%. And, the exhibits and the things that are going on, I mean, they are massive, and Queens must be celebrated for all of its culture.
And on that note, before I let you go, please let our listeners know where they should go if they want to learn more about QCAN, follow its work, or get involved in some way.
Thanks so much. Our website is www.qcan, network. So it's qcanetwork.org. And there you'll find classes to take, concerts to see. We post the RFPs for our muralists, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff on there. And I want to mention that we're producing an amazing show on Sunday, April 26th at 3 p.m. The show is called Hit City. And that's exactly what it is. And the executive producer is Otis Williams, who, as you probably know, is an original Temptation.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And this concert celebrates the music of the Temptations and the Supremes. It stars Broadway performers. We're actually presenting it at Queen's Theater in the park, and tickets are on sale now. So I would say hop on and grab some.
Susan Agin, thank you so much for appearing here again on the It's in Queens podcast. And I think we need to make this an annual tradition.
Oh, I hope so, because I love sitting and chatting with you, and your questions are always so insightful. And thanks for having me.
I really love talking with Susan. That was such an inspiring conversation. So, thanks again to Susan Agin for joining us on the It's in Queens podcast. QCAN plays such a vital role in uniting and advocating for our borough's cultural nonprofits, helping to ensure that arts and creativity remain part of everyday life here in our borough. And it's not just about performances or exhibitions, it's about strengthening community connections, giving young people a voice, reminding us that art is at the core of who we are. And now, as always, it is time to check in with someone who's constantly in the know about what's happening across Queens when it comes to culture and commerce. Well, just about everything from theater openings and gallery shows to neighborhood festivals and culinary pop ups. It doesn't stop there. So here we go with Rob Mackay's roundup of things to see, do, and experience.
Hello, Jeff. Are you ready for some Irish music mixed with sounds from all around the world? Because there's something kind of exciting. It started last year and now it's back by popular demand. The New York Irish Center, which is located in Long Island City, opens or unveils its Crossroads concert series this Thursday, January 29th at 7 p.m. On this night, it's Irish and Southern Italian Sicilian fusion. So you can hear all the ukulele and pipes and tin whistles, along with instruments such as the zampagna and the chitara battente. After that, these concerts will be monthly, always at 7 o'clock. General admission is always $25. And February 26th is Irish with classic Turkish music. March 26th, Irish with Senegambian or West African music. August 16th, Irish with music with Moroccan Ganawa. May 28th, Irish with Puerto Rican bomba. And the last one on June 11th features Irish music with Albanian music. All a lot of fun. Great sounding. Those musicians are really talented, and the New York Irish Center is really a home of fantastic music done by musicians who are just into it, not looking for fame or anything. They're just looking to practice their art. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Hope to see you at each and every single one of these concerts.
And Rob is with the Queens Economic Development Corporation and the Queens Tourism Council. So thank you, Rob, for bringing us up to date. There's always something new to discover in our borough, and Rob knows it all. But if you want to know where to go to find out about it all, I've got the place for you. It's the It's in Queens website. If you're trying to figure out how to spend your day, your weekend, or you've got relatives coming into town and don't know what to do, here's where you need to go. Head right over to the itsinqueens.com website. It's your guide to everything happening in Queens. And if you're dreaming about launching a small business or exploring new opportunities as an entrepreneur, make sure to visit the queensny.org website and sign up for the QEDC newsletter when you're there. And when you're out exploring, snapping a photo of a great meal, catching a live performance, or just wandering through the neighborhood during some of our snowfall, of course, well, remember to tag us on Instagram or on X with the It's in Queens hashtag, because you might just see your post featured as our next photo of the week. So before we wrap up, here's a thought to carry with you. Picasso once said, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life." Okay, here in Queens, we don't just dust it away. We celebrate, we share it, and we keep it alive for every community. So thanks for listening. Until next week, stay warm, stay inspired, and keep celebrating everything that makes Queens truly one of its kind.